If you're about to start an internship, congratulations. You are about to do your best work and have an amazing, successful internship. How? My next guest, a previous intern herself, is going to share 3 tips for a gratifying internship. And you're going to learn how to maximize your internship here on Early Career Unlocked. So, welcome, Alejandra.
Thank you so much for having me, Aaliyah. I'm excited to be here today.
Excellent. Well, before you share your advice about 3 tips for a gratifying internship, tell us a little bit about you.
Of course. So, my name is Alejandra Osorio, and I'm a senior communications specialist in the healthcare industry. I graduated from the University of Texas at Austin in 2020. Hook 'em horns. And I'm very excited to share some of the insights I learned while being an intern myself.
Years ago, when I was a campus recruiter, I hired Alejandra as a summer intern, and she was phenomenal. As an observer, from my point of view, Alejandra was present for all my events and my activities. I remember you always being a positive person, always smiling, always having a good time. I remember the feedback from your team that you were just incredibly liked. And
Mhm.
so to me, you had a successful internship back then. And I'm super happy that you're here to share your advice on maximizing an internship. So before you do, I want you to tell your viewers, how are you knowledgeable in this topic?
Yes, so as Leah just mentioned, I was an intern myself just a couple of years ago. I had the opportunity of doing 2 summer internships and also one part time internship during my last year of college. And during those experiences, I got to see very different industries, very different roles, and it gave me a good holistic look at to what internships could be like.
And just for our viewers, an internship, it is an opportunity to gain experience and launch your career. Everyone knows that. But something you may not know, which is an internship is also a working interview. Let that sink in for a second. An internship is also a working interview. And what that means is that you're being observed from the moment you accepted an offer to the last day. And that observation can determine a callback for a full time position or not. So, Alejandra, I cannot wait for you to dive in further. What 3 pieces of advice would you like to share with us today?
Thank you so much, Aaliyah. What you brought up is a really great point. I think a lot of us sometimes do not think of that as just the opportunity for more after. We might just think about it in terms of the 3 months. And so we're there for that time, but that's a really great point. So, on that note, I think my first advice for any aspiring interns or maybe college students that are getting ready for their summer internship is to make sure that you use your voice and share your perspective. I know from my own previous experience, it can be really intimidating walking into a new team, a new company, and all these processes and things, they seem to work so well together when you're first starting. So you're trying to just do what they tell you to do, how they've always done it. But sometimes really if you have new ideas or process improvement, or you want to, even add more things to the project that you're being assigned, that is a really great opportunity for you to share your voice and share your ideas. They really hired you for a reason, and they value your feedback because you are coming to the company with fresh eyes, with a fresh mindset. So they do want to hear and try to incorporate what you have to offer. I think a good starting point, and it makes anybody feel more comfortable, is if you can do some research onto your idea, or maybe a company that has implemented something successfully, so that you can kind of start those conversations in that way, and it just continues to build your brand of really wanting to be there and work for that company. My number 2 piece of advice is for interns to be open to all experiences and opportunities that your internship has to offer. So, as Aaliyah was saying, if you're there for the summer or if you do it part time, you're really there only a set amount of time to get to know the company that you're working for, as well as for them to get to know you. So, a great way to do that is to get involved outside of just your day to day activities. Some things that come to mind from the get go are diversity and inclusion groups. Those really have become a standardized practice for many companies today. So if you're interested in that, it's a great opportunity to go out there and get to see what kind of activities and events they're doing to support diversity in their company. A second option are teams like Toastmasters or any kind of class like that. What Toastmasters is just a way for you to continue working on your public speaking, which is always a great skill to brush up on. And it really is,
Absolutely. Yes.
yeah, and it really is great at any career point. So even if you're just starting, never too early to join. And then lastly, there's a lot of things that are set up for interns alone. So think about your social hours or webinars with C-suite executives, like only talking to that internship class that year. Those things are really great for you to take advantage of because you're only there for a short amount of time and they're definitely wanting you to be active in your time there. So just be sure to also set that time out besides, you're doing your day to day.
Yes, and what students don't realize when they're hired as interns, the amount of planning that goes into setting up those activities. It's not easy setting up an activity or an event or a webinar with a C suite, and a C suite is a very high level executive in the company. But these activities that your internships provide and these groups that we open up to you is really an opportunity for you to build your personal professional network. Some people that you will want to know professionally, and then some people you actually like and have a feeling of community that you may want to stay connected with them forever, you know? So it really is an opportunity for you to build your professional network.
My number three advice is that before your internship time is up, make sure you take the time to thank anybody or everybody that was a part of your internship journey, as well as kind of make any future hopes or aspirations known before that time is up. So, the first point is to make it personalized when you're saying thank you. It can be a thank you card, or in this virtual workplace, a lot of us are facing a thank you email. In that email, like, you have to make sure that you say something specific that person helped you with, or that you learned from them, or an experience that you two shared that was impactful to you. This is a really great last kind of personal touch point before you're out. And as Leah was mentioning, a good way of building your network and kind of keeping that connection after you have left the company or gone back to school. And then, if you do have aspirations about maybe it's coming back next summer for another internship with that company, or maybe you're ready for your first time full time position, that's a really great moment to share that you're interested, that you have that drive, and kind of ask if there's any specific process that you can follow, or like a follow up that you can do after you've left on your own. That way, it really seals the deal that you were enjoying your time there, that you want to come back, and they at least have you first of mind if it comes in a few months.
Yes, and just to add to that, everyone you've met at a company, don't be afraid to add them to your LinkedIn as well, because they can see all of your updates. You can stay in contact with them. It's like a virtual contact list that you have forever. But saying thank you and then staying in touch afterwards on LinkedIn goes a long way in helping you in your career, not just your first job, but it could be your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth. I mean, all the way. That is wonderful advice, Alejandra. And three tips for a gratifying internship or maximizing your internship or having a successful internship is: one, use your voice and share your perspective. Two, be open to all experiences that your internship offers. And three, thank everyone who is a part of your journey and make your future hopes known before your internship ends. So, to wrap things up, Alejandra, any last piece of advice or anything you'd like to offer to our viewers?
Yeah, I think the last thing I want to leave everybody with is really be open to learning every day. It really is no lie that you can learn something new every day from really anyone that you come in contact with. It can be career related, it can be life related, but each one of us has had such unique experiences that if we just listen to each other, there's really so much room for growth and for learning all the time.
Well, thank you so much, Alejandra, for being here today, sharing your wisdom and sharing your advice to future interns going into their internship in the summer or the fall. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This was such a great opportunity, and I love what you're doing with this talk show.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And then to our viewers, subscribe for more career advice from industry experts like Alejandra every week here on Early Career Unlocked.